The first Svensk Hyllningsfest was held in October 1941 to honor the Swedish pioneers who settled in the Smoky Valley in 1868 and 1869. Celebrations of a religious or secular nature have been an important part of life throughout the history of the Lindsborg area. A Swedish Day of Observance held in May 1938 was part of a nationwide commemoration of the landing of the Swedes in America, which may have served as the model for the first Hyllningsfest. There were some in the community who knew of the annual Tulip Festival held in Holland, Michigan, and with Lindsborg's reputation as being one of the largest Swedish strongholds in the state, and the chances of capitalizing on that reputation already established, the idea of the annual Scandinavian festival held in the fall had received its start. Lindsborg had cause to celebrate in 1941 as the centennial year of the birth of Dr. Olof Olsson, spiritual leader of the town's original Swedish immigrants. In addition, the year marked the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Bethany Academy, later named Bethany College, the 60th anniversary of the organization of the Messiah Chorus, and the 50th anniversary of the graduation of the first class from Bethany College, all historic milestones in the life of the Smoky Valley area. Dr. William Halwerda was elected general chairman of the first festival. A young physician of Dutch ancestry, Doc Bill had moved to the community in 1931. Halwerda's newly formed committee promptly initiated a naming contest. Svensk Hyllningsfest, or Swedish Honoring Festival, was suggested by Mr. E. P. Linnander, a bricklayer. Hyllnings and fest were later combined into one word. Early in the summer months, folk dance rehearsals began in the park, with school children learning 8 dances. A group of adults, about a dozen couples, also began rehearsals. Residents were urged to check their closets and attics for authentic Swedish costumes. A Swedish costume showing was held on a Saturday night in the early fall in the Swanson Furniture Store windows, now the Swedish Crown. Costumes for the whole family were modeled, including the authentic costumes from Sweden and homemade outfits copied from originals or Swedish books. This show encouraged the ladies in the area to get busy with their sewing. Automobile caravans were sent to neighboring towns to publicize the festival, and all loyal residents were asked to start wearing their Swedish costumes on October 4th, nearly 2 weeks before the actual start of the event. The first Hyllningsfest featured entertainment such as an elaborate parade, downtown folk music and performances, a comedian from Munkfors, Sweden, now Lindsborg's Swedish sister city, window displays of Swedish treasures brought from immigrants, a Swedish movie, 2 smorgasbords, an evening variety program at Presser Hall on Bethany College campus, prizes for best Swedish costume, and a Sunday morning union worship service. While reports vary to the actual number of people who attended the festival, the people in adjoining counties flocked to the celebration, and people from 27 states and 3 foreign countries, Scotland, Sweden, and South Africa, all signed the guest book. While the first Hyllningsfest was successful, World War II dominated the community's interest for the next several years, and plans to make the Hyllningsfest an annual event were dropped. After World War II, interest in reviving the Hyllningsfest was strong. In 1948, the 100th anniversary of the settling of the Swedes in the Midwest was being observed by Swedish-American communities all over the United States, thereby rekindling the area's desire for a celebration. After Lindsborg's Swedish Pioneer Centennial service in April, plans to have the second Svensk Hyllningsfest in October 1948 got underway. Many townspeople felt that the festival wasn't a festival without a queen. Since honoring the pioneers was one of the chief goals of the celebration, they decided to choose a festival queen from one of the elderly area women of Swedish background. The queen would have been one who had lived in the community most of her life, and one who had been actively involved in service to her community. After a 5-year hiatus, in February 1952, the Coordinating Council voted to revive Svensk Hyllningsfest in the fall. The event was a success, and was replicated in 1953 and 1954. After 3 consecutive festivals, townspeople were almost unanimous in feeling that having a festival every year was too often. But in January 1957, the Coordinating Council established the Svensk Hyllningsfest Committee as a not-for-profit independent agency responsible for the festival. This laid the foundation for a biennial celebration that have continued from 1957 to the present. Dr. William Halwerda's writing about the first festival in the October 23, 1941 issue of the Lindsborg News Record said, "The festival effort was planned, developed, and built entirely upon the premise of solid local support and assistance from our neighbors. The response from all sources was in terms of generous participation. It is to such support we owe our success.